Um, I just realized that I was on mute. I need to fix that so that when I bounce between scenes, it actually mutes and unmutes properly. So that'll be a fun first little bit to the stream. I'll go and edit that out of the stream later on, right up on YouTube. Oh, it's going to be on Twitch permanently. I was just saying, it's the weather's picking up here in Sydney. I'm actually really enjoying that it's got a whole lot warmer. Although yesterday the office started to get really hot because the desktop is sitting at my desk and basically it's just blowing the air out of the back of it straight into the brick wall, which is then bouncing straight back onto me. So I am just going to continuously heat up. I think the air conditioning is going to get turned on a whole lot earlier this year compared to any other years in the past. But anyway, let's get down to business for today, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week, which was we're just about ready to try and set up a call between multiple connected clients. Now, I'm not quite sure how that is going to work, but what I did notice when reading the docs is that, well, there's kind of no like initiator of the call per se, and this kind of fits in the experience I've had with teams. It's just whoever, someone starts a call, and the way that happens, and then everyone just kind of joins that existing call. And it looks like what we do with that is we create a call group ID, which is going to be a GUID, and then we get our call agent. So the thing that we've created in our application for working with call, we use that to connect into the call itself, and we're just told to join that call. And if it doesn't exist, I'm going to assume that it just kind of creates it. So that's what we'll play around with today. And I've also got the shipped sample application, so we might have to refer back to that a few times. Anyway, I'll start off by getting our terminal all up and running. Get a couple of splits here and come into SuperDuper Enigma, which is we're going to do F and N use because we're going to have to split to all of the swap everything back to using node 12. We can start. So we'll keep those off. And I think I've still got the emulator running. Oops. No, we don't want that one. I think the emulator is still going to work. I was having a chat with Wasim, who is the creator of the emulator that I'm using to simulate the authentication for static web apps locally, and kind of showing him FNMUs. I was showing him the sort of use case that I'm trying to target with the emulator, and why I've got it installed as a local dependency instead of a globally installed dependency, which is what he recommends people do with it. So yeah, it's not kind of working quite the same way that you would expect, or that he was expecting it to work, which is then causing other issues. But we'll see. Run later. Let's see. I think that is working. Yep. It does throw a bunch of errors. I'm actually using, I think my version might be slightly behind head on his set of commits, because I haven't done an updated dependency that will get rid of some of these error messages. The primary error message that's happening here, if I just do kind of a page up, is that it's trying to start some stuff on a particular port. Which one is it? It's this one here. It's trying to start something on port 3000, which is where I'm already running the web server. And then it's trying to start the API as well, which is on port 7071, which is where Azure Functions will run. But because I'm saying, well, no, here's the version of here's the backends that I want you to use. It's not quite smart enough, at least it wasn't in this build, to detect that. And it would try and start them and they would just silently fail. But it wouldn't actually matter because I provided the URL. Okay, now did we? Doesn't. Don't have there. Where is it? It's going to be I know I can't. I don't think I can actually just launch straight from here because yeah, it says 000, which is the erroring thing there. Instead, we'll go to localhost 8080, which is where we kicked off. I'll pop the DevTools, just zoom all this stuff in a little bit, just to hope that things are going to work correctly. One pop out of that. Okay, so we'll hit Paul. Oh, wait, yeah, okay, so, oh no, I hadn't selected my, oh, that's probably actually going to have thrown a whole bunch of errors. Let's start again. I was expecting the login flow. Ooh, we've got state that's trying to update inside of a unmounted component. I wonder how it's getting to that. It's probably because I've got a really dodgy navigation stack at the moment. It's not. I'm not doing any sort of persistence of user information, which we probably should be doing something on that so that we don't end up on login page when we're already logged in. As like we saw, I clicked login, I didn't actually get prompted for the challenge. I probably need to do some intelligence around that. Anyway, let's go back here. I probably should hide that call button initially until you've selected like cameras and microphones. Now, ooh, I got a few more errors than I was expecting. So it's errored because it's saying the media device is already used, which is somewhat to be expected because it was wanting to connect to the default microphone on my machine, which is, yes, it's in use because it's the one that's being pumped into OBS for the stream. But it didn't detect the camera, and it's actually not tried to render any camera. Did I delete that code? I should have deleted that code. This is back in Connect. Or does it think we don't have permission to show camera? We're probably going to need to come into the component tree and have a look at the calling context here. So that is going to be, so if it undefined state, which is going to be the current camera, audio devices. So no, there's the microphone. No, I think it has actually errored trying to load up the cameras. Let's have a look at what these error messages actually are. So we've got, first error is, it's just failing, yeah, media device is already used. Cannot start the video source. Yeah, so that's fine. Just don't need the calls back there because it can't start the default video device because it's in use. Okay, I understand that one. And then we should get a, no, it's just doing that a lot. So maybe we need to come in, maybe I should just go in and kill a bunch of background applications that I've got running because I've still got like Slack open and Teams open. Oops. We'll kill off all of the various things. And now we'll just try reloading this and see if we can get it to deal with that. And yeah, that context is going to give us a bit of an issue. Okay. No, so it's not a background application that it's failing on, so it's probably something on context. So let's come into our calling context, which is this one here. And, oh no, that's right, we lifted everything out to a custom set of hooks, wasn't it? Well, no, but did we put in hooks? No, camera list is just there. We just got this use effect, which is, yeah, that big one that sets everything up. So we're going to need to see whether or not the device manager is working and giving us what we actually want. Because if we can't get everything from the device manager, well, that's going to be somewhat problematic. So let's maybe check a breakpoint inside of that. Come back down to use calling context. Use calling text. There we go. Get the file explorer open. Leave that one there. Let's just make sure that the results, so result is the result of calling ask device permissions. So does this web application have permission to access our devices? Talked about it in the last episode where we were, because you need to ask permission to access media devices, your camera and microphone, because the user has to grant consent. If they don't grant consent, then, well, you don't have access to that, and that can be problematic because your application needs to handle for that. Let's jump back to the landing page because that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Click on Start Call. Okay. Interesting. So the device manager is saying that we don't have permission to access video. We can do audio and sharing. So because it doesn't have permission to access video, we're not going to get the camera list. And that's why we don't show a camera list in the end. Check again. Yep. I would check a breakpoint inside of there and see if we ever actually hit. No, we don't. So something has happened that means that it doesn't think that I've granted permission to use that. That's all right. That's an easy fix. So we can come into Manage. And then if we go to Camera, so this is where you can see all the applications that have got access to it. And what is the camera that it wants to show? So by default, it's going to try and access my Brio, which is in use. So maybe instead, I'm going to pop the NVIDIA Broadcast, which is actually in use. Like that's actually what I'm pumping into OBS. And we'll clean up everything else, but we'll change it to do that. So that maybe it's going to, well, this should then re-request have access to it, and we'll see that pop-up flow. Let's hit call now. Okay, so now it wants to use the camera. Yep, we'll allow it. But it's still only getting access to the microphone. Okay, come back and let's come in here, delete it again, and we'll go to a different camera that I've got on my machine. I'm going to use the XSplit Vcam. So XSplit is just a virtual camera, but I'm actually just going to use this with my secondary webcam that I've got here. And the reason I do that is that this webcam that I've got, it's a Microsoft Livecam, but it's really old. And unfortunately, it doesn't have, it has a bug where the zoom and autofocus are not something that I can control. And I can't disable autofocus without running it through something like this, which will disable it. And what you would see if I leave this on, we'll probably should see this happening just kind of in the background of that camera, is that it'll kind of every now and then just fade in and out because it will lose focus on me. I don't know kind of how or why it's doing that, but yeah, it has this auto-focusing issue. So I just pass it through XSplit here, and then that should deal with it nicely. Okay. Try yet again, see if we can hit the camera. Otherwise, it's going to be very short today if we can't actually start the video call. That'll be problematic. Let's pop in our breakpoint on result the video, because at the moment we're going to be on line 45 at the moment. That's where we're caught. So we're going to allow access to the camera. Now we've got access to the video, so now we're going to try and get the camera list. There we go. Okay. Maybe it was just having some issues with the camera that it wanted to select. Now, we're still getting a bunch of errors in here because it's trying to connect to cameras that it can't connect to because they're in use. Like if I try and connect to the NVIDIA Broadcast, so we'll see. Let me just swap back to select camera and then come back to the NVIDIA Broadcast. We'll go to the XSplit camera. So this should then display a camera for me. No preview. Or did I kill it? No, it's still running. This is not going well today, that's for sure. So, Brio won't work because it's in use. The life cam should work. Interesting. Let's have a look at our component here. So the context has camera list. And is changing that drop-down list actually doing anything? No, I don't think it is. Next page. Maybe not. Did I break that drop-down list last time as well? Let's see. No, we've got set current mic and set current camera. And they're coming from use call settings, which is just a generic hook. That's right. User call settings. So grab the live cam microphone. Okay. And yeah, the live. Okay, but are we not showing in here? Yep. It should be still showing it out. So the section isn't getting the ref. So the ref is not coming back then from our hook, which is use call settings, vid ref. And so when we're changing the camera stream, it should be updating all of that. This is on the use user call settings. Let's just change to different camera. So we've set no camera. Okay, so that's fine. So it's not set anything, which, well, I mean, it probably should have, but we didn't get it to do that. I killed XSplit VCam, so we'll just go straight to there. So we do have the correct camera, and we have a video stream. That's right, we're coming in here and we're going to try, oh, hang on. VidStream. The VidStream's current source, what is that going to be? VidStream get source. Because I didn't clear out the source previously, so that's probably why it has just reselected, which means that it's not going to attempt to change anything. I think I need to restart this page because we're in an odd state. So we'll come back to the start. Okay, so now we don't have a camera and we don't have a video stream, so we should end up in this else condition, and then we're going to bail out because nothing of that passes. And it's died again. XSplit. Does it really not like having, like, if XSplit isn't running, does it get really upset? I mean, it should, because it's just a virtual camera, and even if the virtual camera is not running, it should be able to, like, attempt to connect to it, or autofocus is not turned on. Making video calls on your own computer to yourself, kind of tricky, it seems. I'm going to pop a breakpoint there on the renderer, and then where we switch source. No, it is. My machine is really not liking starting calls today. Okay, so we're going to just nuke access, so we can try to start the call again. line up there. We'll allow access. We have now access to our camera. If I select XSplit VCam, so we have a current camera, so that was the one that was just selected. We don't have a video stream. So we're going to create a local video stream. We're going to update it through the hooks. We're going to create the renderer. We're going to add the renderer to the hooks. We're then going to create a view. The vidref current as a target. And we're going to append child. Let's just check. Vid ref current dot append child. So that's a function. And target is a div. And then it appends. So we spent a whole bunch of time trying to debug, I don't know what. That's suitably annoying. I'm just going to mute my phone, well, turn off notifications on my phone completely because it is consistently buzzing and that's getting quite annoying. It's probably actually picking that up on mic as well. Oh, hey Ben, welcome back. Any beer this week? Or what are you fermenting at the moment? Because last time I chatted to you, you'd moved on from just brewing beer, and you were like, trying to get into all sorts of charcuteries and all sorts of fermentations. Cheese. Which kind of cheese? You just got to go ricotta. Ricotta, it's the easiest cheese to make, right? You're trying to make camembert. Wow, that's next level. My wife made. I can't remember which one it was. She did a couple of cheeses. It was kind of just when I first moved in with her, and she had a mozzarella, and I think it might have been a camembert or something like that as well. And yeah, new appreciation for the level of complexities to make cheese and why you spend so much money to buy good cheese. Well, we are attempting to work out how to talk to myself through through a video call. That will be interesting because I only have 2 cameras. I need more cameras. But we can't justify buying more cameras. Okay, so let's clear out the current list of errors because those current list of errors are not really interesting at the moment. And instead, we are going to do. Well, let's see what happens if we start a call. Nothing, because I hadn't done anything. So the background removal. Well, this is really weird. Looking at myself on the. Yeah, it's looking a bit fuzzy today. I didn't get time to string up normally I string up a sheet and stuff like that behind me, but I'm actually using NVIDIA Broadcast. So see here, because this is my background. It's a rather messy room. So I use the NVIDIA Broadcast software. So this is just running entirely on the GPU. It's pretty good, but what you kind of want, if you're going to do some sort of artificial intelligence-based background removal or object detection-based background removal, which is what this is doing, if you're using XSplit VCam, which is the other application that I would recommend people use, and it's the one I'm using here because it does background removal. You want to do something to try and reduce the amount of noise you've got in your background. You can see here, I have a lot of stuff behind me. What that means is there's a lot of varying object colors, shapes, and sizes. So the more of those there is, the harder it is to work out which is you versus which is the background stuff to remove. And that's also why things like headphones get a little bit fuzzy, or why the chair it's a little bit fuzzy, particularly as I move in and out, because it's it sees that there's a chair there, but then with a chair with like a mesh bit like I've got, it's like, well, hang on, I can kind of see through the chair. Whereas if you, what I would normally have is I've just got like this. It's essentially a queen size bed sheet that I string up from the curtain rail over here through to the wardrobe that's on my other side, and that hides a lot of the stuff. It doesn't hide everything. So I can't use it for doing like a chroma key, which is like proper background removal where you just have a solid color and you just move that color from the stream. But it's enough that it reduces the amount of variation in objects so that when you then try and detect what things you need to remove, there's less variation, it's simpler to remove. And what I've found is that things tend to perform a lot better and you get more consistent background removal. So yeah, that's just like a tip. If you're using this on my NVIDIA Broadcast or XSplit or anything like that, do something to try and normalize the background, or go out and invest in green screen. That's the sort of thing that I wanted to, I would like to do, but it's something that I will worry about down the track when I have a new office in the new house. So it's a lot more complex. Oh yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way that the virtual background removal works. It's the kind of thing I want to see if I can build into this application once we get to the point where we're actually like running a call. Because, well, it's object detection. You need to be able to, well, essentially detect where the person is in frame. And if you can do object detection and things like cognitive services in Azure can detect a person or something that is person of size and shape, theoretically, you can then go, well, anything that's not that, we're just going to remove from the image or from the video feed or whatever it might be. And then, so I want to see if I can do that down the track, and have background removal. I actually did see like another really interesting trick you can do if you're using something like a background removal tool or a virtual background tool, like you could do with Zoom or with XSplit or NVIDIA Broadcast and things like that. Is you actually, instead of doing background removal, you do a background replacement. So if we pop open XSplit here, I think I've also just opened Docker. Whoops, yeah, there we go. We don't need Docker open. So like this kind of software will do also like swap in like a virtual background. And anyone that's done Zoom calls or Teams calls or anything like that will be familiar with this functionality. But instead of doing like a landscape picture that I've got here, if you did it so that you replaced with just a solid color, like a green, like a big green square that just sits behind you and like your background is a big green square, then you can use chroma key in like an OBS to remove that. So you can get something to put in a virtual green screen that's an actual green screen. I was like, oh, that's actually a really nifty trick. Like if you were doing something like with multiple presenters coming in and things like that. So yeah, the video I saw, I'll find the link and I'll tweet it out again. But it was for doing like Teams calls, and then so then everyone on the Teams call has a green image as their background, and then Teams is doing the background replacement, and then you use another tool to do the background, like the chroma key background removal. It's like, yeah, let's daisy chain technology together as much as we can. Okay. Well, back to this though. I did click the call button and nothing happened, which is okay because I mean I'm actually not surprised that nothing happened. I wonder if there's anything that's in Azure that will tell me if there's an indication of like a started call in Azure. I don't know. Let's find out. So like, is there any like did I start a call? I'm pretty sure I put in the code that clicking that call button was meant to do something. No, it doesn't. Well, that'd be why it didn't do anything. A 30-second recap of like the stream in total, or like where we're at right now. What am I? That's the screen I want to be on here. Okay, so for Ben who's joined in late today, what I'm building is so we released this new service at Ignite called called Azure Communication Services. And basically, what it is, it's the guts of Teams, possibly Skype. I actually don't know, because I mean we own both, so there's a good chance there's overlap between the code bases between Teams and Skype. I don't understand how that sort of stuff is implemented. But anyway, like what it does is it's an SDK or SDKs that allow you to do video calling, telephony, so like PSTN, just like standard telephone calls. Like who does that these days, really? Chat and SMS, like the guts of what you get out of Teams. But it just provides these as a thing that you can connect to in Azure, which is this one here. So this is my that's possibly broken. Interesting. Well, it would be this resource in Azure that doesn't look like it's working. But yeah, so it's a resource in Azure where I can connect to, and then I can just integrate that into any application that I want, because it doesn't have a built-in auth model. The auth model is complete BYOD. So if you are using Azure AD and you connect with Azure AD, if you are doing like a roll your own auth model on top of like an OIDC server, or you just like it's completely custom inside of your application, that's cool. Because the important thing that you need to do is create a token for each user that connects. So I'm doing some stuff with static web apps and using the user accounts inside of there. And then with the Azure Communication Administration SDK, so that's the SDK behind communication services for like administering services. You create a user and then you issue a token for what scopes are they allowed by VoIP, PSTN, SMS, and chat. And in this case, we're just doing VoIP. And then that token is what I use from a client to authenticate this client in. So there's currently nothing in here that is like tied to Azure or anything like that. So you can, well, other than communication services, but it's not like tied to Azure AD. So yeah, you can fully BYOD your authentication model, and then you just plug it into your application. Like long term, the kind of thing I want to build is or explore is the integrations within Azure. Like, can I do something interesting like connect to cognitive services? Or I've seen that it's got support for Event Grid. So like when events happen in communication services, you can respond to them with like an Azure function because they're just events happening in an Event Grid. So you can subscribe to those and like automatically include a chatbot into it, or automatically start transcribing a call and things like that. At least that's the theory, and that's where I kind of want to get to. But right now we're trying to get the UI to work because, well, we want to see if we can actually start a call. And to do that, I probably need to make this button do something. So clicking this button is going to have to do something. And that something is going to be starting a call. Now, I think I might actually create a new provider that will, a new bit of context will be around that, which is the call context. So we've got the calling context, and this calling context is responsible for the things that are relevant for how someone would interact with the call. And in fact, I've just realized that the other set of hooks, I probably want to lift those up to a context as well. But this is our token credentials. So like we get that from the token endpoint. We have the call client, which currently I'm not using, and I don't think there's anything I need to do with the call client itself. Because I get the device manager and I create the call client. And there's nothing really else of value that the call client will give me. We have our call agent, which is the thing that I'll actually use to join the call, which is going to be this thing here. No, it'll be this one, not the group chat. It's the group call. Although we could probably use both because that way you can have text chat and video calling. So we're going to call agent. We've got a device manager, which gives me access to the microphones and cameras. We have then the list of cameras and the list of microphones. So that's enough that we can show this sort of preview window that I've got here. But now when I click call, I need to take what you've got as the current microphone and current camera and then set those on a call that's getting initiated. Do that, like I said, I think I want some more context. So yeah, I'm going to create a new context up here, which will be this one. And we are going to do a new file and we'll do use call context.csx. And we'll import React from React. And we're going to need a type, but we'll work out what that type is shortly. And this will be call context, React create context. And then I think we'll probably expose a method, which will be start. No, we'll call it join call because that way, like the terminology is consistent because we always join a call. We don't start a new call every single time. Like, because if I'm joining an existing call, I'm joining that, and when I'm starting a new call, I'm actually joining a call that doesn't yet exist, seemingly. And this is going to take a string, and then we will have it just throw an error. Ooh, where did my keyboard go? Not. And no, it's going to want me to do that. Cool, and that will be a string. No, this will be the current camera. No, video device info, and then we'll have. No, we don't need the audio device from memory. Call.join. I don't think I've actually. Oh no, I did. I did start implementing it. Huh. Well, I guess I don't need this file then. Let's delete that. So what I need to do is this provider will have so this is providing me with a function called start call, and then on the next up here we will, on the calling context, we will have start call. And then on here, we will have it so that on click, we will start call current. Do I have the current camera? No, I haven't got that yet. Current camera, and then current mic. Current camera and current mic. Yes. I will go at current camera and current mic and this. So presuming that we've given, so once we have a camera and a microphone selected, then we can have a start call button up here. And we'll see what happens. I mean, ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to join this call, which is actually giving me a call. So I'm going to need to call back. Call back. So I'm going to need that because that is, I think, what I can do stuff with. Let's have a look at what's on call. So call is going to give me the caller identity, so that's who is there, the state of the call, incoming, connecting, ringing. Yeah, that's going to be useful. Call ended, the microphone state, the screen sharing state, the local video streams. So I'm going to assume that's like your camera, and if you're screen sharing, it'll probably have that. Remote participants, that's the one that's going to be really useful because that will be who I am. So like who's connected in. Oh, hi Jack. Welcome to the heckling. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm probably going to need to be. Yeah, I kind of feel like this should be on its own provider. I don't think I should have this in here. No, I'm going to need that in here because I need to set that on the device manager. I need to set the microphone on the device manager. And that's on the. Go. No, I am going to create the new file for this. Use call list. So while I deleted stuff before, we'll just import. We'll just put everything back in on React. What React from React? We are going to then have the type of call context. Whoops. We'll have a start call. Yeah, we're going to need you and you. Oh, and I didn't specify what that returns, so that's going to return a void. There we go. And then we're going to const call context will be React context, and then it will actually just be our no-op. It's not implemented, and then we will grab that. So that's needed there. That's not going to be needed there. That's not needed there. And we're going to need the UUID, aren't we? Yep. Okay. And then we'll create our export const. That should be exported, I think. No, it won't be exported. Const call context provider will be a nothing component that will return call context dot provider with a value that is that. Oh, that semicolon. Sorry, that comma. That comma. I need to bring out a whole lot of things still, and then that will be children. There, which means that I need to do the right props. Okay, and then I'm going to actually need to bring in void is not assignable to type. Yes, because I forgot to type that. All context props. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to need device manager and call agent. So we are going to get those by const use calling device manager and call agent. Use calling context. Oh, I'm not exposing those from context, am I? Well, that's annoying. And I have to add those to context, aren't I? Wah. Yeah, well, I probably want them anyway. We want the call agent and the device manager. Those up here as call agent is an optional call agent, and then we'll call device manager, which is an optional device manager. I need UUID. We'll pop U across on line 4. And I can't find no children. It's props.children, that's right. Props.children. There we go. And then we will have a once set call. We use state call import all of these things. Yes, added call. And that should be square brackets, not squiggly brackets. Then we can do set call, ta-da. So now we've created the call with that group ID. So that call is now available somewhere in our application. Awesome. Done. Wait, and just check, that's not an asynchronous operator. No, it's not. No. Okay, so now we've created the call. We probably want to go to a screen where that call is and maybe, I don't know, see what events are happening on the call. Call dot on, because this isn't, so it's an event emitter, which means that there's things that can happen on it. It has call state changed. Let's have a look. So we've got on call state changed, subscriber function for call state changed. These are really not helpful. Call ID changed. Subscribe to the fun. Yeah. Subscribe to is screen sharing. Okay, so is screen sharing on changed? Wait, is that just interesting? Remote participants updated. So that will be the useful one. I think we're gonna have to subscribe to that, which will then mean that we're going to be triggering off sort of like a local event that will update our local list of participants, local video stream updated. I wonder what that does as well. Let's add two more bits of state const. We'll do local. We'll just do nothing, and then we'll set local video. Is use state. I'm not sure what that is going to be. This will be the local video stream updated, and then we are getting some arguments, which is a collection updated event. Let me, because naming things is hard. So E is a collection updated event. Added and removed video streams. Interesting. I wonder. I'm gonna have to read the docs here, because the events described they are. Well, I mean they're there. I don't quite know what they are. Does it have anything that? Let's see if there is nothing about what this event does. Okay, this will be fun. We'll just do console.log. We'll do local video stream up. Yeah, whoops, updated. And then we'll just do E. And we'll do get rid of the state, because I'm not sure what we're going to put in state then. And then we'll have a call.on remote participants, and then E. Let's have a look what this one is giving me. So this is giving me just add and remove participants. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, right? Like if you think about it in the context of like a video call, if you've got people joining and leaving a call, well, that makes sense. Like you're going to have people that are added and people that are removed. So that makes a bit of sense. I don't quite get what it means otherwise, though. We'll find out. I don't know what it means for local. Like, it must be to do with screen share. But no, there's a separate event for screen share. Console.log. We'll have a look at both of these and see what happens. I'm gonna have to start the virtual camera. Start the OBS virtual camera as well, because I'm gonna need. I need more camera inputs. I don't have enough camera inputs. Here we go. Because I can't. So I can't access the NVIDIA broadcast because it's in use. Cool. So I'm going to be needing to use this one where we just inception ourselves. This is actually the coolest features, like where you can actually watch the mouse and then you watch it like circling around itself, but because each one flips it, so it goes back and forth. So we're all doing like the inverse mouse there. Anyway, you can stay on XSplit here. Actually, I also should probably work out where that exception is coming from and whether or not I can catch that. I mean, I should be able to catch it. 44 more frames from library code. Whoa. Yeah, it's just because it's inside of React. Yeah. Need to work out how you can catch that error a bit better. Okay, so we have now got call started. Go back to home. And we will open up what the? We'll open up Chrome. Wait, do I have? No, we're not going to use Chrome because I don't have my password manager installed in that one. Okay, we're going to use another profile of mine. Localhost 8080. Let's see if this one is signed into GitHub. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's fine. Not logged in. No, this one's not signed into GitHub. Sign in. I have to grab this Toppy code. Did you catch my password, Jack? Because if you did, you can then also use my 2FA to get in. But highly doubt that you managed to get my password because I don't even know what it is. Now, this one will need to be prompted. This one will need prompted, to allow the camera and microphone. Okay. It's not connecting the camera. Yeah, but the short-term code will no longer be valid if you're just watching the rerun, Jack. It's gonna be real pain if it doesn't want to. Like, camera stuff is just going to constantly fail. I can't get access to my cameras. I'm gonna have to zoom this one out. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't get feedback yet. Well, mostly because I can't even join the call because cameras are a problem. I wonder in settings, Edge settings. Camera is somewhere. There it is. Okay. Oh. It's gonna be really tedious if I have to, like, every single time I reload the application, I need to tell it to disconnect and reconnect my camera. Maybe what I should do is not use the preview version of Edge. Or I reckon what it is, because I really only have two viable camera inputs, and they're fighting to who gets to it first. That's what I reckon it's going to be. What's going to be the easiest solution here? Maybe it will be firing up another laptop and then trying it on that. So I am going to set up another machine on the desk next to me. Oh, and then, like, it's, yeah, I have mouse without borders running, so I can actually connect to it. No, I don't. Mouse without. Build a chat application yourself, where you can test talking to yourself. It'll be easy, they said. No, I don't think anyone actually said that. Okay. Let's see. No, we're gonna mute this machine. Yeah, we'll wait till it finishes booting up. Wow. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to connect two computers, or like my same computer multiple times because I just do not have enough cameras available. And this laptop is taking longer than I would like to boot up. There we go. Okay. So that's getting closer to being ready, I think. So I'm going to be using Mouse Without Borders, which is it's a virtual like keyboard and mouse switch, so I can use the keyboard and mouse from my desktop to connect to control my other computer, which is going to be my Surface Book 2, that's sitting on the desk next to me. The only problem with that is that it's actually there we go. Okay, so it's connected. Now my mouse will go off, and you can't see this, but I am actually running on there. And then my mouse comes back, it pops up here somewhere. And let's find out what my IP address is. I'll just split this one. Oh. I don't have ifconfig installed? Really? Well, that's highly annoying. One, two, install ifconfig. NetTools, that's it. NetTools. It's lunchtime, Jay. It's 3 o'clock. How's it only lunchtime? Anyway, catch you next time. There we go. Okay, so that's there, and I paste this on my other machine, and then let's see if I can connect to it. I bet I'm gonna have to open like some bizarre firewall port to then be able to like forward through from this is why everyone uses like Nginx, isn't it? Yeah, I'd have to do something weird to do port forwarding from here. That's annoying. Actually, or is it just that the emulator isn't bound to that right port? Let's see if I can just connect to port 3000. Host, actually, this one, colon 3000. Oops, not 30,000, 3000. Okay, cool. So I can connect to it on my, I can self-connect to it. Where is my mouse? Oh no, I've got 4 screens and I don't know where my mouse is going. There we go. 3000 on my other machine. Yep. Looks like there's some firewall setting that I have to open up so that I can then have WSL connect to itself elsewhere. Okay, this is going to be a pain. All right, well, we're going to go to my next option, which is GitHub Codespaces. GitHub Codespaces. So I'm just going to delete an existing code space because I can only have 2. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Like, those are just test code spaces that I've got. And then we are going to have to add this code here. Status, git add commit on starting pulse, and then we'll push that up. I can probably kill all of these servers because they aren't needed. We will come to, where is it? This one. And we are going to open that with a code space. Ta-da! Now, the reason I'm going to do this with code spaces is that when I'm running in a code space, I'll have a URL endpoint that I can connect to. It's a publicly accessible URL as long as you're logged into my GitHub account, which, unless you were able to catch my credentials before when I was signing in, you won't have access to my GitHub account. But then I can use that URL on my other machine because my other machine is signed into GitHub, and then I don't have to deal with firewalls. Because nothing says overly complex systems like this. There we go, here's code spaces. Look at that, I can phase myself out if I lean back in my chair too far. Okay. It's going to take a couple more minutes just for everything to load in. There we go. Let's kill that one. Kill that one. Don't need that open anymore. Don't need that open anymore. No, I'm not going to install anything. I'm going to instead go here and then, okay, so settings sync is turned on. So I just got to give it a couple of minutes. It's going to, it's installing all my extensions and that kind of stuff. So we'll start, here we go. So we've got a couple of the extensions starting to pop in, like LiveShare and the GitHub extension and Docker and things like that. I'm not going to worry about the recommended extensions because they'll eventually pop in anyway because they're extensions that I already have. This is setting up my local environment. There we go. There we go. My theme has just been applied. If I was to say pop a file, interesting. It hasn't brought up the it hasn't bumped the font size up to 26. That's all right. I can also 20, which I'm running at the moment for streaming, so we can do that. Cool. Okay. So NA version 2. Nice. So I need to do npm install in a bunch of locations now. So this is going to take, unfortunately, a bit of time just while we install all of our dependencies and just set up a brand new environment. But yeah, if you haven't used Codespaces, go sign up for the beta, github.com/codespaces or github.com/features/codespaces. I can't remember which is the one for the sign up page. But essentially this is full VS Code running in the browser, and it works really well. Like I've used it for a bunch of stuff, and it just does exactly what I need it to do. Maybe I should set up like a dev container so I can have more optimized, like a more optimized runtime for everything. But we can do that at a later point in time. So the reason I'm saying a dev container, so dev containers, VS Code dev containers. So dev containers allows you to create a Docker environment where you actually run VS Code. Will run your VS Code instance with inside. So you use your UI shell, which is like running on Windows or Mac or whatever. But the actual the application you're working with, like your code base and the VS Code server, are then living inside of a Docker container. So because it's a Docker container, then it's only got access to the things that you've put into the container. So that's how CodeSpaces works. This is running inside of a Docker container, but this is a container that is not optimized for what I'm working on. It's just a generic one. So it's got .NET installed, it's got Node, Python, and a heap of other things. Whereas I can create one for just my application, create a Docker file, and everything that I need installed would be installed for me. I wouldn't have to worry about having the whole kitchen sink installed instead. Yeah, just like even if you're not using CodeSpaces though, dev containers are really useful because you can control what's going in there and basically pre-provision environment. So I think of it, the idea of to a degree where you're doing standard operating environments or SOEs. A lot of corporates would do like a SOE and like here's the dev tools that you all have installed and things like that. So well, actually, yeah, we can just do that inside of a Docker environment. And then it's easier to refresh what's in there. We want to bump the version of Node that we're working with. We just bump the dev container that we're running on. Or for like training, if you want to like give people that's not looking promising in the npm logs. Like if you're teaching students, you don't want to have to spend a lot of time everyone trying to work out like how do I install all the dependencies. Well, you give them a dev container and then everything's pre-installed for them. Nice. That has been very unfortunate that it has errored out, so we'll just try another install. Sigh. Ooh. There we go. That's still doing something, I think. Annoying. I was actually poking around in the VS Code base itself the other day, and VS Code's code base actually has a dev container. So if you're doing dev on VS Code, you can do that. You can do that inside of a dev container. So it's like totally meta. All right, nearly done. I only got two more sets of installs. We're going to install our node modules here. Out of curiosity, what is the emulator version that I do have the dependency on? No, it is pinned at alpha 6. I should have done that update to like alpha. Oh no, we haven't fixed the main bug I need fixed. With the static warehouse emulator. We'll get there. Everything is going to install soon. And term date. Then let's just need to do nvm install 12. We'll create yet another terminal, and then we will go into node modules at which one? It's this one I need to go to. Yeah. Whoops. CD. Yes, allow paste. And then that. Okay, now we need to do an npm I in there. Term 1. Cool, that is done. Oops. Term 2. Checksums matched to you. NVM use 12. NVM is not compatible with the npm config node version. Right. NVM RC just says 12, right? Yeah. And node, what's the version of nodes here? No, that should be fine. Okay, maybe the error message I was getting was something that I didn't really need to care about node versions. Let's kill some terminals. Oops. Term create. So let's have a look. What's it telling me when I start this terminal with node? No, it's just telling me about the prefix. That's fine. That doesn't matter. I don't quite know what that prefix is used for. Probably some proxying stuff with inside of code spaces. Okay, I want to allow everywhere, so we'll make sure that ESLint can run. /workspace enigma. Okay, so we'll do npm start. Create. Actually, no. Let's close that one. I'm going to split the terminal. Come into the API and npm start. So we'll start up API. I need to import my local settings.config file. New file, local settings, JSON. So the local settings for the function are used so that we can have our like the API token to access communication services in there. But I am just going to pop it back to me so that you don't watch me copy that across, because I don't need you having access to my Azure resource. I don't want to put that entirely on stream and like sent to YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's done. There we go. Magic of television. And we're going to create a new terminal, and this one will just run the emulator. npm run emulator. Okay. You can't see them because they're behind my head. This is the problem I had last time. But I'm starting to get notifications popping up. So what's happening with CodeSpaces is that it's detecting that I'm running things on on particular ports, and then going, oh, hey, this is like a port that you're gonna care about. So it's making it available for me to connect to the same. Do you want to open that in the browser? Because it's actually going to forward out those ports. We can also find that here in the CodeSpaces Explorer. Here's a bunch of forward ports. So port 3000, 4242, which is something to do with the emulator. No, did the emulator start before? Bugger. Term 2.1. Term 1. No. Term 1.2. So refresh that. So what do we do? Kill something. This is a lot of work to get back to where we were supposed to be. see, are we starting up our functions? Will it run? Okay, cool. So the token endpoint is up and running, and then we'll go back to term 2.1, and now we will run the emulator. Won't worry about those. Term 1.1. So keep an eye on the outputs there. Connect TSX. So it is trying to start call from there, which it can't because it doesn't exist. Instead, we are going to use call context. So this is actually where start call will exist. And we'll export use call context. Use context. Call context. And then that will, let's check, did we do that as the function you invoke? Yes. Call context. There we go. Okay, so there is our call context. I probably actually need to reload because I haven't got all my extensions installed. Future problem, future problem. Oh, what do I do with camera? So that's not needed. That won't be there. We will do const start call, use call context. There we go, so that's that there, and now we're going to need to go into app.tsx. TSX, there we go. And then the calling context provider will then have a call context provider, which that is going to be wrap everything in providers. It's providers all the way down. Now let it pop open this one in the browser. Okay, I feel like this was a lot of effort to get back to somewhere where we previously were. Damn it. Wait. No, I don't think I need to worry about those cause errors. Log in via GitHub. Oh. Log in via GitHub. That's right, that's expected-ish. Copy address. I'm just gonna need to. No, it's not that one that I need. It is going to be. Or so the problem is that like we need to bounce through to this endpoint, which is where the authentication stuff is living at. But because it's all happening on it just makes the assumption that things are localhost, because that's the way the emulator is starting to work. It's starting to work on localhost. So here's that'll be another challenge that I'll have to work with Wasim to work out how we solve. Redirects are coming through. Oh, this is just painful. Am I going to be able to bounce properly? Okay, yeah. Just have to replace every single one of these balls. That's totally not tedious, because of how the application really doesn't deal well with sign out and bouncing around. Did that crash something? No, that's all right. I think. So wait, why does it? Wait, no, not slash app. That's why. Do slash auth complete. Okay, well, it should be right now. We go back to our application here. No, because it needs to do like this redirect flow every single time. This is just not going well. And I don't know how we fix that. Not without like hacking massively into the emulator. Okay, that's a lie. I have an idea on how to fix it. It's actually a pretty terrible idea on how to fix it. We're going to terminate this code space and everything that's running inside of it. Exit. Yes. Exit all of the things. So that's going to have killed all of the remote connected ports. What I can do with code spaces is, damn it. Oops. And now I'm going to have to go generate a new key there. That's frustrating. Accidentally publishing keys on stream. Dull. Amateur effort, Aaron. Okay. So the problem with the emulator is that it thinks everything's running on localhost, but that doesn't work. So we have to kind of make it think that it's running on localhost. And we can kind of do that because we can connect code spaces from the local VS Code instance. So what's going to happen with this is that it will think that it's running in the cloud. But, oh, no, I mean, sorry, it won't think that it's running. It knows that it's running in the cloud. But it will then proxy all of my localhost requests to like port 8080, port 3000, etc. It will then proxy them up to the code space where it is actually running, and then it'll come back down. But I just think of it as localhost. Now the question is, well, how do I then do that on my other laptop so that they're able to join to the same call or things like that and see what kind of happens there? Well, I just realized I don't have any way to actually connect an existing call. Maybe I've jumped the gun here. Anyway, the way that we can get around that though is we can use live share. So I can live share to myself, which will then share the proxied versions of these APIs with myself. Yeah, but I just realized like we're actually not able to join an existing call. We're only able to create new calls. So I've completely jumped the gun on what I need to do. We really need to be focusing on like what's happening here, what these events are doing, what's the use cases of them, what values do they have, and I need to be able to like start attempting to display things. So we're actually going to need a new page. We're going to create a new file, and this will be called. We'll call this one call. Yeah, we'll just call this call TSX. Import React from React const all stat, and then return section. The hate one saying call started, yay! And then export default all. Yeah, cool. So it's formatting. Then I'm going to need to const all. Yeah, call. Yeah, I'm actually going to need to have call on the provider, on the properties of this. So a call, which will be question mark on call. And where is call going? It's going to be here, and that will be call there. So do call will be off the use call context. We can access the call, and then let's just put out the add call dot ID. Well, let's put out some information. We'll just do a UL. I, and we'll call ID will be call.id. li. Punch in a couple of things here. This will be state. Well, that's annoying. Reconnect. Oh, I don't want to reload the window because then I'm going to lose all the stuff I just did. Why has my code space just gone offline? As far as I can tell, my internet is still up. Sigh. It's just not having a good day. Oh, well. I have to reload the window. It's connected. Okay, so it's attempting to reconnect. Just not having a good day. We can close that one because I did it there. I'll leave that open so I remember to come in and generate my new keys. Actually, just while that's happening, I'm going to check to see whether I can generate my new keys. Okay, sweet. I should be able to. Theoretically, it's not showing me any keys in the portal. Oh dear. Yeah. See, you've had similar problems, yeah. I very much appreciate where people use something like Nginx to reverse proxy things down. Reload window. I'm still attempting to reconnect, and I'm going to attempt to regenerate my keys, but I can't actually see my keys in the Azure portal anymore, which is problematic. So that's going to make it very difficult to regenerate those keys. And I can't connect to my code space. So maybe we'll go back to trying to do it locally. Let's just create this new file, tsx, yay. We'll have merge conflicts. Now, it looks like my code space has died. I'm gonna have to try and debug that one later. And awesome. Looks like I must have a very old communication services resource inside of Azure. I can't do anything with it, even in our internal portal. that's going to be a challenge. I will need to have a chat with the team on how to fix that. But, c'est la vie. We will continue on trying to do this locally. Because, yeah, we're just, right now, we are still interested in, well, what is happening on the call itself. So, we dump this out and call, yep. If there isn't a call, we'll just return one loading. We'll just pretend that we're loading, and then otherwise we have the call ID, and then that is going to be the call state. What else is interesting that we can have? Is microphone muted? Muted. And let's see. Caller identity. That's a union type, I think. Yes, it is. So it can be a connection user, well, let's see what just happens. Identity. We'll see what happens when we try and log that out. And we'll see what else we can get that might be of interest as well. Local video streams. Oh yeah. State. We'll start with these couple. And it's time to restart all of the servers. npm start. npm start. npm run emulator. Oh, that's right. I need to come into connect and change where we are getting start call. Start call doesn't come from there anymore. Start call will come from the use calling concept. No, use call context. Use call context. There we go. That's that. Okay, looks like we've got everything up and running again. Just about. Okay. I feel like we were here like 20 minutes ago and then achieved not a whole lot over the course of the 20 minutes in between. And I'm actually just going to shut down my other laptop because it's not needed anymore. Because I think that we'll probably try and work out what's in like the local video settings and stuff like that in the rest. Oh, I didn't even make it so that we redirect to that page. So we still probably got to get to the nice looking time thing. Yeah. No, that's not mine. So this is the one that I'm looking to replace. So this is a app called Figure It Out. Unfortunately, Figure It Out only allows me to do 3 time zones. And in my team in Microsoft, I have 5 time zones, I think, that people, no, the people that I work with there's 5 different time zones. And that's not not also taking into consideration like other time zones, like, well, Brisbane's in a different time zone right now, or Perth, and then people people not in my direct team, but in supplementary teams that I work with that are in other time zones. Yeah, so I want to be able to show more, but I can't show more with Figure It Out. So I need to. That's why I was building my own. I will be getting back to that at some point. I've just had a few hectic weeks, so I might. I'm trying to find some time to just kind of pick up that and tidy up a few of the things that are less excited to do on stream, and then get back to actually the interesting stuff on the stream. And what's happening to localhost 80? 80, is it running? Should be. I'm going to call that tab dead. Localhost 8080. One of those days. Completely kill it. And new window, where are we? Localhost 8080. Or is it just like it's not liking connecting to the emulator today? Like, did 3000 still connect? Yeah, 3000 still there. But 8080 is not wanting to connect through. Yeah, it's happy with, well, there's the error for 3000. Yeah, it should be running. It should be running. Let's go to stable edge. Oh. And then that's going onto the wrong screen. Where where are things? No. Things are just, but no, here. Wrong screen, wrong screen. Over here. Localhost 8080. Can I just can I get it? Can I get something to connect? No, I can't. Okay, well, I'm gonna kill the emulator again. So I can tell that it's not the browser that's the problem, it is just the emulator not starting. And this is like, we just pack it up and go home. Wait, I'm already home. Because this is just not working. Login. Just don't want to go to the home route. There's my dead code space. You can stop setting it up. Yep, okay. So looks like my computer is pretty much hosed, so that's a good thing. Do the final thing, and then we might just wrap it up early today, because I think I'm going to need to reboot or something, because yeah, this is some process somewhere has died. I can't kill this VS Code instance, which was the code space, which has failed to connect. Actually, let's close all windows. Yeah, I just can't kill that one. I'm going to do one last ditch thing, WSL, shut. Yeah, just kill WSL completely. That should terminate all processes that are still running. Start a new terminal. We'll start the application again. So, oh no, not down. First we want to do this, and then we're going to split down, and then there's a thing in Tmux that won't work. Tmux, replicate. No, I wanted to. I can run the same command in multiple terminals simultaneously, and I'm trying to remember what that is. But I don't think monitor. Not monitor activity. No. Let's just CBG super and then npm. Oh no, fn use npm start super super API name use npm start. Super name use npm run emulator. Okay. come back to localhost 8080, see if it is actually going to start this time, or we just like try and give up. I think we're crying and giving up. Awesome. I'm not sure what's just died at the moment. Instead, I'm going to const history equals use history. So I'm going to need to get history from React Router so that I can here do history.push call. So this will navigate me to the call screen. And then on the here, that's right, we're going to need to add the call context provider. Is that up there? And then we are going to have another connected route, another protected route, which will be the call page, which will import call page from call. There we go. So those there, the /call. That's broken. Yeah, I'm gonna end up needing to reboot to work out what's broken here, because I am completely bemused as to what's happened. And yeah, I like it. Something with Edge is probably locked up, and I'm not able to navigate to localhost 8080. Can Chrome get there? Chrome. No, Chrome, you're not going to be my default browser. Localhost 8080. No. I don't know. That's something in my emulator is dead. Then it's not the browser. Something somewhere is very unhappy. So I think we'll wrap it up there a little bit early today, just because, well, if I can't get it to hit the stuff in the browser, yeah, we'll try it. I'll see. I'm going to see if I can get this done off stream, and have that ready to go next week when we come back to it. Because yeah, it's nothing I can do without rebooting, and rebooting is going to kill the stream anyway. So thanks for stopping by. I'm annoyed that we didn't actually get to what I was hoping to get to today. Like I really wanted it to be able to set up a call, at the very least, set up a call that no one else had joined into. But alas, it doesn't look like we're able to do that. So I'll be back same time next week on so like 2 p.m. Australian Daylight Savings Time, Sydney, which is UTC plus 10. I don't know what time it would be UTC. To keep going with this, and yeah, we'll hopefully be able to get a call going between my computers. And yeah, we'll see if we can solve that next week. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you back sometime in the future.